Hello, welcome to my bench. Today is play around with junk day. Cleaning out stuff in the warehouse and came across this little gem and a couple other things I'll be putting up on video here shortly. This is a Max Media Access Exchange receiver, satellite receiver, that used to be pretty ubiquitous around, and a lot of people used them. It's used for receiving programs down from the satellite, and you play on radio, and at least in my case, you play them on the radio, and it's kind of interesting in a couple of ways. We can see here it's got a little LCD display and some up and down push buttons and an enter and some lights over here that say lock and status and control and audio 1 and 2 and audio 3 and 4. And on the back, on the other side of it, we've got this. Now, what you got here, over on this side, you've got your audio channels. I think they're upside down, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for your audio outputs. And these are your relays outputs that go into these DB15 connectors that has relays that you can tell this thing what to do when it receives something. You can tell it what to do, turn on what relays to switch things in the radio station so that it will, well, switch the input of the board to go to the satellite channel so that it'll play whatever this thing is receiving, or you could program it to play something that it recorded. But you may notice here, this looks an awful lot like a computer. And that was my idea of getting a hold of this thing is, yeah, I don't care about the rest of the satellite stuff. It's no good to anybody anymore. Well, I mean, I suppose it's good for something, but not much. But it's got a computer in it, and that's what I wanted to look at. See what kind of computer, and if it's even worth keeping. I mean, the computer itself has a mouse and keyboard. Not really sure what that one's for there. It's got a serial port. You don't see that much anymore. It's got a, apparently, S-video out, VGA, 4 USBs, and two, count them, network cards, right there, plus sound. Interesting. So we're going to open this thing up and see what's actually inside of it. If I can figure out how to get it open. It's pretty well put together here. Let's take the wings off of it first, because they kind of get in the way. If this thing turns out to be anything useful, maybe I'll put Linux on it. I think it runs on Linux anyway, to tell you the truth. We'll hook it up and see what it does first. Well, after we open it. Don't turn it on and take it apart, as Dave says. One of the other Daves on YouTube, that is. Let's see. Well, there's Little bitty screws. Interesting. Try this first, because it looks like reasonable thought. That can't be it. Never actually opened one of these. You just don't generally have to. They just sort of sit and do their thing until they're no longer needed, I guess. Is that it? 2 screws. 2 screws. That's all it holds this top on. That's interesting in radio, because from all the time in radio you got like 87 screws holding on a 4-inch piece of metal to get rid of the influx of the AM radio station towers sitting right outside your door running 1,000 watts. Okay, whoa, it's a cute little board. Alright, so let's see what we got in here. Hard drive. What is it? It is a Western Digital 80 gig. And it is not an antique. This is, well, the hard drives, it's both, yeah, powered by both, SATA and regular power, but it is a SATA hard drive. It's got a cute little fan there. Appears to have built-in memory. Oh no, here it is. How much memory does it have, and what kind is it? Oh, it's kind of strapped down. Isn't that cute? Okay. It's got a big old tie wrap across the memory here that has glasses. Void when removed. I don't know, 512 I presume. Yeah, 512 megs. That isn't very much, and it doesn't have room for any more. But if it's running some old version of Linux, wouldn't make any difference, I guess. These things didn't have to be fast. That's for sure. I mean, you know, the machine itself, it's just, that only does one thing. Got a big old fan over here and a cute little power supply. And these boards coming off of the, yeah, those look like they're coming off of this. Huh. Well, I don't know. Let's see what we can get this thing to do. We'll hook it up here. I know what it should do. If it was hooked up, it should come up like a receiver, satellite receiver. But yeah, we need a keyboard. Okay. Doubt if we'll need a mouse. I'm sure that this is a really, if it's just going to be a base Linux installation and no GUI. So I'm pretty sure that this thing's not going to blow up on me, at least fairly sure, but I am going to stick it into the isolated power supply. It's got the Variac on it, and bring it up slowly, just see if the smoke pops out anywhere. So let's see, turn you down, turn you on, go to amps, and bring you up slowly. Not drawing any current to speak of. Okay. Fans are running, and it went beep. Very light beep. Let's turn on the TV here. Point this camera.
Let me get this straight.
Oh.
Walks and the members of this department get a major pension hike? Sure, sorry about that.
Okay, wrong.
Compared to this, the Dutch overpaid for Manhattan. Our cops.
Incidental. Okay. Put it on VGA and see if I... No signal out of it at all. Out of the VGA. Okay. Well... I don't know. These are your audio boards, 2 channels for each side, international data casting. This does have 1 expansion slot on it, and this looks like some sort of, maybe a PCIe, I don't know. Interesting, but that's a standard PCI slot there. I have absolutely no signal out of it. I'll tell you what, let's turn it off, turn it back on again, and see if we get anything at all out of the video. And we are not. I mean nothing. I think, whoops, sorry about this. I'm pretty sure I got my VGA hooked up. I do. Well, this is interesting. So basically we got 0.0 nothing with it plugged into, oh, wait a minute. Click. There we go. Just as it shut off. That was really good. That was funny. Forgot to switch the switch over there to the bench instead of the old 98 machine in the back. Let's see what we got here. It says VGA. And still no signal. But try bringing it up again. See if it even gives me something on post. Aha. Pause. Okay, so it's a Phoenix BIOS 2003. It's got a Celeron M 1.7 gig processor. Well, 100 front side bus times 17. It's got 512 megs of memory and shared 8 megs of memory. Let's see, DDR 533 and hard drives. I missed it. Okay, pause. Well, it's got pretty much everything that you'd expect. Oh, it's got an 80 gig hard drive and loading grub. It's Fedora. Haha, all right. So let's see if I can get it stopped. All right. So basically, it's just Fedora booting up. And date's right. It started SSH. Cool. So I could SSH into the thing and find out what it's doing. Everything seems to be okay. Oh, I'm not sure what good this thing would be. But it's it's a computer. It's a silly little computer, little bitty box. That thing is neat. Now, what do you do with a 1.7 gig Celeron? Device, oh, okay. It's got quotas set up too. What else? I don't have it set up here. Let's see. Oh, wants me to log in. That's not going to happen. We're going to have to put something else on here. I sure don't want Fedora. But the neat thing is, it's got, let's see. Alright, so let's turn this off and find out what's in here. I really, this stuff over here, I don't need. I'm never going to need that. It's got, this thing's running off of the IDE port. That's cute. It's got one is that just one? No, it's got two SATAs, an IDE port, and no floppy port. Of course, why would you have a floppy port? I mean, you know. But it does have two SATA ports. Very simple. Very, very simple box. The power supply seems to work okay. Let's see, what do we got down here? We got a fan connector. This big old connector along the side, I don't know what all that's for, but goes out, it must be, that's the reset switch back there. So this must be the connector for all of the front switches and stuff. This, I forget what these are, but that looks familiar. This is a power connector. And that's a floppy drive connector over there. Oh, I remember those. Okay, and then some sort of a header pin, here. I don't know. But it's a Phoenix BIOS. Cool. And none of the, is that USB? Can't tell. Like I said, it's got 4 USBs in the output. Well, I think what we need to do is put a 2 USB connectors. This power supply is a 4-pin. How big is the power supply with handle? As a ball bearing fan. Wow. Okay. It's a SPI. Sparkle. 14 amp 3 volt. 2 amp 5 volt standby. 16 amp 5 volts and 14 amps 12 volts. So you add all that up together. What is this? It's about 180 to 200 watts in that little box. Cool. And this connector here, we're going to have to look this thing up. Alright. I'm going to go do some searching on this board and see what it is. I'll be back. Holy smoke. I can't find anything on this motherboard. I guess it's fairly old. But I just looked it up online and there's people asking $396 for this thing. for this motherboard. Woof. That's... really? That's a lot. I mean, I know this is an industrial motherboard. It's really... it's built well, and it's really... you know, it's supposed to be just run forever and ever, but holy smoke. That's kind of high. Well, anyway, there it is. I mean, you know, we can take a look at the rest of this thing. I got to think about what I want to do with this box or this thing. I have no idea. I mean, it's a Celeron. It takes that one particular chipset, but basically, this box got a nice fan in it over here. But what you got inside of these things, you've got an Altera Cyclone 2 chip, that's programmed up to do what this thing wants to do, and the receiver is on the bottom. I guess we can get to that, sure. Why not? Hard to get out of here, but we'll... they don't want them to come out without a struggle. Unplug everybody. And find the right... which one are you? I think you're this little weird one here. Yeah. These things are all built to be just solid as a rock. Well, they have to be. I mean, it's radio, and like TV, radio it's all about 99.99999% uptime. No excuse for losing whatever you're supposed to be putting on the air, and of course there's no excuse for losing your advertisers either, or a ad. Because trust me, those people listen, or they got a company that listens for them, and you miss one ad, and they're on you about it. They know right away. I mean right away. It's pretty intense. So then you got to do make goods. When you do make goods, it means you have to wedge an ad into your day when you really don't have time for it. God forbid if you go down for a while and you have to make up a ton of ads. I mean, that gets even harder. Suffice it to say that communications like radio and TV, our whole goal is to be on the air with no interruptions as much as humanly possible, which means that there's no excuse for failure. And I've got power supply plugs in back here. And where's the other screw? It's probably isn't one. It's probably just there it is. Hiding not very well. There we go. Alright. So there's one of the boards. This will take the information that it gets from the receiver down there, or from the hard drive when it's stored, and tells it what to do and pumps it out the audio and controls the relays. Here's your relays right here. Those are cute little relays. What are they? They're TQ2 2SA 5-volt rest from Japan. Ooh, from Japan. What all has this board got on it? Anything interesting? 48 LC 8M 16A2. Probably memory. And this cyclo tube, I think that's an FPGA. Not much else. And it got 3.3 volts, 5 volts, 1.2 volts. These are all little regulators. Wow, isn't that cute? Look at the way they did that. They got these regulators are all smashed down onto, here, I'll show you. There's one way of making a heat sink. I mean, you take the regulators and you put them down onto the copper on the board as a flat heat sink on there. That's nice. I like that. Let's see. Anything else up here? I don't know what that is. SPDIF outputs, but it doesn't have SPDIF outputs. And the bottom has got two of those and a bunch of little bypass caps down here. Not a whole lot on here. Oh, I do like that. There's big old ground hoop loop right there. If you got to fix this thing, it's something to attach your probe to. That's wonderful. And this is a Coiltronics. I don't know. It's VP1-0102. Probably 102. I don't know, 1,000 microhenries maybe. Don't know for sure. But it's got little regulators on here. Those are just blind. Let's see. 117 AJG. Yeah, these are LM117s for the 3.3 and the 1.2. The 5 volts a 73 RD standard 5 volt regulator. Anyway, it's got, there's a little crystal. Not little crystal, probably, it's not a crystal, I think that's probably an oscillator. It is marked 27 megahertz. Ooh. Look, CB in a box. Okay. Anything else good up here? I don't know. TPIC 6C 595. I don't know what all these are. SSM 2142. Both of those. Probably audio. Let's see, I don't know. Anyway, that's that board. Not much to it. Well, not much to it. I mean, it's not much you can say about it because it's just a whole bunch of stuff on the board. I'm not going to do this by hand this time. These things are in here tight. It's almost a shame. This one's just exactly like the other one. Alright, now down here is the receiver. This will be a little more interesting, I think. It's fed with 12 volts. And it's got an Altera in it also. Let's see. Also, this is going to have to come out of there. Connector down here feeds the front panel. Let's see. Pull you out a little. Big board. Yeah, this connector down here feeds the front panel for everything. That is one long... Oh, okay. They ordered that special. I guarantee. Okay, and... this is the satellite receiver. Well, you know, satellite receiver after it gets knocked down by the LNA. Just something manageable in a box like this. Alright, so we got to take this off of here. L-band. So spare no expense. A star washer, and I keep getting my shirt caught and trying to rip it off. Oh, another screw. There we go. Alright, so here we go. This is the broadband receiver, the non-broadband receiver. This thing comes in from whatever you've got hooked up to it for an LNA or LND. Got another 5-volt relay here. Don't know what it's for. Oh, this is for sync. I guess putting them together to make two of them. What else we got in here? This is, okay, JTAG. Here's your JTAG for the programming. Power input, more memory for the Altera ASICs. What's this? An LT1371 Linear Technologies. I believe that's a regulator. That is a little transformer. It says 13 volts and 11 volts. I really don't have any information on these things. And I'm not going to be able to get it either. I can tell you that right now. There's another little crystal. And it is 32 megahertz. There's another one. 15 megahertz. These little boxes are cool. A little coil of some sort. Doesn't say what it is. And one of these little coils with the dots on it. I can't remember how to read those. Let's see. I think it goes orange, gray, or brown, gray, orange, green, orange. I think. I'm not sure. Make a fool out of myself here. There's some sort of a chip underneath there. But basically, you got your, let's see if we can get in here a little bit. Go on. Yeah, there you go. Basically, your output LNB comes in here. Is it yeah, it's amplified. It's got a little chip on it. It's too small to read is what it is. Things are ridiculous. What they can print on these things is in 1 point. What is that? I can't even tell which way is the right side up here. Oh, there it is. It's this way. ST86300. Yeah, that's what it says. I'll have to look that up if I can find it. Put it down there on the underneath here. Well, that's some sort of chip. I'm not sure what. Tell you what. There's the receiver out of it. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm not going to do anything with that. I can tell you that right now. But it's play with the computer. All right. There we go. So there we have it. Max Media Access Exchange satellite receiver with a computer built into it. I'll keep you up to date if I do anything with it, but I just thought it was kind of neat that they got a computer evidently running Fedora and inside of a box that's a satellite receiver. Who knew? Alright, thanks for watching.